Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. And if you're new,
Hello, my
welcome.
beautiful people. Welcome to.
And if you're new, welcome to this beautiful community. I am so glad to have you here. Listen, I have seen a couple of comments. When are you going to do videos with your brother?
The main character, right?
And Mr. Anthony is here now, and I decided why not do a video or two with him. And this is the first vlog with him. So introduce yourself, Mr. Anthony.
I think you know me. I'm Anthony. I'm Tony, and I'm the main character in the show. So I should be introducing her. But yeah, I came back to do another video as requested by the audience, and so we don't even know the topic. So we're just we like it to keep it genuine and spontaneous. So we don't know as much as you don't know. So this is exciting. So we're looking forward to talking about whatever.
What should we talk about? Which topic do you think I should talk about today?
Yesterday we had a conversation about value, which I posted on my Instagram. Values.
Yes. I'm going to put his Instagram account in the description below, by the way. If you want to keep fit in a healthy way, and also if you're very strict on nutrition and all that, I will put his...
If you need any sort of guidance,
yes,
and any sort of if you feel that you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go, need some help, you have you want to feel healthy, you want to look healthy, then you know where to come.
Yes, I'm going to put his Instagram account in the description below. Go follow him and learn a thing or two. So yesterday we were talking about
value, like value in life, individuals, what it means to each person, how we define it, which we ended up defining it as interesting, as based on experience. Each individual has their own experience, and the strength of that experience, like how each individual perceives or reacts to that experience, then the strength of that reaction is what creates a value. So you say we were children raised in the same house. From her perspective, the family, the closeness, the bonds, everything that was included in what family was, eventually became this really valuable thing to her, which is now family is everything, is really important to her. To me is similar, things of that sort. To me it's similar, but obviously from my own perspective. And we talked about boundaries and how values and boundaries go.
Let's define it again. Like personally, I said boundaries and values, they go hand in hand. You can't have values if you do not have boundaries, and you cannot say you have boundaries yet you do not have values. I say these two go hand in hand, and I also say that in as much as values are created with on how someone grows, I believe how you grow up shapes in one way or the other the person you grow to become. And I think that you collect some values from how you grow up, and also some other values you collect as you grow, as you get older. You grow mentally, emotionally, in every single way. You learn so much from your surroundings, from work, from so many situations, and that create the values that you hold dearly to. And I said values to me personally, they are standards you hold so very high.
This is something interesting. The next day, which was today, I thought of this thought came to mind where the conversation was if there's a difference between boundaries and values. And today I came up with this thought that values are something you hold to yourself.
Yes.
As you said, standards you hold to yourself to. and boundaries are are those standards you hold outward to others.
I think also boundaries you can hold to yourself. Like there is a boundary myself I cannot cross, and there's some boundaries another I can't allow other people to cross.
Yeah.
Whether it's family or friends.
Give an example
of partners. There's
Yeah.
some boundaries I keep for myself, Naomi. You cannot cross this boundary.
Well, like for what example?
How I let people treat me, for example.
Yeah, but that's
There's
outward.
a boundary. There's a boundary that I cannot allow other people to cross.
Yeah.
And there is a boundary that I cannot allow myself to cross. Like I want to stay fit, for example. Yeah, I will hold myself accountable to make sure that I stay the way I want to be, healthy and all that. And that's I'll put it very strongly that I think that's also a boundary that I am putting on myself. Naomi, you cannot do this.
So
Naomi, you have to do
listen
this.
to this. What you're saying is that but it seems that that seems more of a value to me in the sense that
that's why I said boundaries and values go hand in hand.
hand in hand.
They
But
go hand in hand.
they still have their own uniqueness.
Yes.
They're not the exact same thing.
Yes.
So it's the gray area we're trying to find.
We had said that how you're raised, also you could pick values from that.
Yeah.
Like for example, I have a child, and I instill some values in my child. Do I expect my son, my child, to pick all these values and have them for himself when he grows up? No. Some values innate grow up and pick them and hold them, yeah, and send them value. There's some values that he will not, and he will pick along the way as he grows. He will learn from other people and environments, and they will shape also other values for him. So it will be like you pick from how you grow up. At the same time, how you keep as you get older, you have more to learn.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
For example, I know how much we were raised with so much love, and for
you
me.
know what? What'd you say?
For example, I love how we were raised with so much love, the values that mom instilled in us with so much togetherness and all that. And that's something that I there's some things that the way mom raised us, I want to instill in my children, and I have picked them, and I love, you know. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think values and boundaries go hand in hand? Like I think personally boundaries and values go hand in hand.
There's another question also, because as you said, boundaries and values are also have their own unique definitions. So what exactly is that gray area between boundary, the meaning of boundary, and the meaning of values? Yeah.
And how can you define your own define values and boundaries in your own wording?
Yeah.
But can you define values? What do you understand when someone says
so values is not something that I'm very, very, very clear on, in the sense that this is the definition I'm set on. But what I do know is that a value, to be able to have a value, you need a certain experience, in the sense that your childhood, for example, and you as an individual, you like the fact that there's this sense of togetherness in family, and then it creates a certain value to it. So family becomes this very, you hold your family at a high value. And so it depends on experience and the sort of energy and the weight of that experience to that individual.
I say values are very high, are standards that one has for themselves and their which I think everybody has values. I think everybody has values.
Yeah, I mean, we said
Someone-
yesterday that a value.
Differently, but everyone has. I don't expect even if we were raised the same.
Different, yeah.
Even if we were raised the same, you're my sibling, but the values that you've grown to pick for yourself, together with how you grew up, are totally may be totally different from the values that I have. So you could have been raised in the same household with so much everything, but you find that one person grows to have completely different values while picking still some, and another one has totally different values.
The difference between those values and the difference is that obviously it's all interpretation of individual interpretation.
Yeah.
You know what the value is.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have been through the same experiences, but it does not matter. You know, you might be twins, but it does not matter because you're separate in the sense that you're separate bodies and separate, you know, ways of perceiving, you know, perspectives. So, and that the strength of however you react to an experience, it creates a value. No?
Yes, and I'll give also an example. For example, you could find two siblings, for example. One, the values they have in their marriage and the values that the other one has are totally different. And we brought also this yesterday. Remember when we were talking about now partnership and marriage? Do you think two people who have totally different values, they could really get married and stay long together? Personally, I think once you decide to get married to someone, or you decide to be in a relationship with someone, of course, looking long term, you have to always look at the values the other person has and the values that you have. Of course, there's some little things that you can compromise, and that's why it's a partnership. Sometimes you compromise and the other person's compromise. But for example, there are some values like how you raise your children. If heads butt there, if one person is strongly saying no, I have to hold on these values for my child, and the other one, no, I have to think these ones are, you know, I think that can clash. And also, let's say, for example, also religion. That's something that can really the values that one person has and the other one. I think even in partnership, in marriages, in relationship, there's some values you can compromise and say, you know what, let's go with yours. What I mean is, for example, if you before you marry someone, of course you always have to look at which values does my partner have, and which values do I have, you know. And I'll give a very simple example, yet very powerful. How do we want to raise our children? So if one person has a value on how to raise their children that the other person doesn't agree with completely, then it will become difficult.
Okay, so right there, before we move forward, if we're saying one person has a way of thinking of how we should raise this kid, and another person another way, you're seeing the difference between those two people is their values.
Yes.
And but what exactly does that mean? Does that mean how we should, let's say a specific example, should our child be religious? Should we introduce him to religion, or should we not introduce him to religion? You know?
And that's why for me, I think you've seen a lot of people, let's say a Muslim and a Christian. You've seen some that get married and they live happily, but you've seen some who are in a relationship and they end up going their separate ways, simply because they couldn't. That's something very important to both of them, you know, and they couldn't come to an agreement. Yet you find others who say, you know what?
What agreement?
agreement on which religion should we introduce our children to, or how should we raise our children when it comes to religion, given that you're Muslim and I am a Christian. You get? That's just an
I
example.
hear you.
And that's why, for me personally, I think there's some values. There's some values once you decide to be with someone, because you're not the same. There's some values you can say, you know what? I think yours is better. Let's hold this to a family or to what we do. And this one, that doesn't mean that we're not going to hold this, but I think let's go with yours mostly as a priority. It's a partnership.
That's where
It's
the
a
confusion.
teamwork.
That's where the confusion begins.
No, there's no confusion.
Hold on. The confusion begins is if. So maybe I'll say what I'm seeing value as, because in this sense, value becomes something that's a way of living that you feel is right.
Yes.
Right?
You have to know that, first of all, when you get, yes, but you have to understand one thing. You're getting married, let's say you're in a partnership with someone. There's some standards for yourself that you don't have to change for no one.
Like what?
Like how, there's some standards
Give me
you
a
don't.
few examples.
I'll tell you, like how you eat, let's say. Just a little example. You don't have to accept how another person eats. They can have that, and you can have your own
What
way.
they eat?
I mean the healthy, yeah.
Like whether you eat meat or.
Yes.
I see.
So
Okay.
you don't have to change what you do for your partner.
I see.
But when it comes to children, you have to understand this is part of both of you.
Yeah, it's true.
So you definitely have to find a compromise.
It's true. It's
You
very
understand?
important. Yeah.
Because I'm not telling you to change your values, and you're not telling me to change my values. But when we are growing a family, we have to decide, okay, your values when it comes to how to raise your child, and I have my values. What is better? What can we bring together and make a beautiful thing without bumping it?
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah, I do. Let's continue with that.
What do you think?
Let's continue with that example because, okay, so let's say two parents, one is a meat eater and another is not, and they have a child. And so, how exactly should they move forward with that? In the sense that, you know, the child is too young to make his own decision.
Exactly.
So the decision has to be made for him by his parents. So.
And that's why you have to understand that. That's why I say these are things that you speak before even moving to that step.
Yeah, it's very important to understand these things before you're having children.
That's why
it's very important. Yeah.
That's why I said once you decide to be in a partnership with someone, to be a team with someone, to get married to someone or to marry someone, you have to really sit down and talk about how you want your household to be, how you want your children to grow up. Your values, my values, what can we bring from your side, from my side, and raise our children without bumping our heads.
Yeah.
My values, I don't change for you. Your values, you don't change for me.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
In as much as, and we have to understand that marriage, you always have to compromise. In one way or the other, you will have to compromise.
Yeah.
Because you're marrying someone who is not you. Totally different person, different thoughts, different behavior, everything. You know? But that's when you sit down, decide on how to run your household.
You cannot sit down in one conversation.
Not just one conversation, of course.
Or many.
Yeah.
There's things, you can talk about these things forever. And then boom, life shows you something that you never expected that you'd run into. Or think, that you ever need to speak about.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a certain sense of importance of preparation in that sense of
very important.
Of communication, of understanding each other's values and that what is important to each other.
And what you can pick from the other person and the other person for your household and for your children. Because you individually, you can have your own values. But once you decide we're living together, we have to build a home together.
Compromise.
Yeah.
So then what I'm seeing, the most important is very important, not diminishing the importance of communication, of your importance, your values and my values. But beyond that, it becomes even more so important to talk about, to understand that there is this openness to compromise.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Because we can speak about your values and my values and which are important, but if something comes up and turns out that you're not willing to compromise, you're not open-minded enough, or you're not open-hearted enough to look at the other's perspective, other side, and compromise, then it's all for not for nothing, but it ends there. There's no moving forward if someone is not willing to compromise.
Yeah, but I think before you get to that point where you say, you know what, this is the person that I'm choosing now, I'll choose tomorrow, and I will always choose. Before you get to that point, you always have to know, you know what, we're going to grow together. So the person that I know now might not be the person that I will know in 2 years.
Yeah.
The values you have now, you might even add more in a few years.
Or remove some.
Or remove some. So we're both growing. We're growing and we're going to change. So when you choose someone, you decide that I'm choosing this person and ready to keep learning and relearning while we grow together. If you don't have that mentality, then of course something will come which will shake you and you'll say, you know what, that's it.
And that's where I feel today is, I don't know what it was in the past, but obviously seeing our grandparents and the loyalty they have, these traditional marriages to each other, is something almost people of our day and age cannot fathom, because one dies and they won't get married and they do these things. I'm like, how? And today, and today people left and right are over the little tiniest things, arguments, very petty. Boom, it's over.
And that's why for me I say it's not about, yes, I understand when you say today's generation, but it depends with you as an individual first of all, and then the person you meet.
Yeah, it does.
There's still very people who are willing to
Yeah. It's not generalizing. Yeah. It's just saying the majority of people, it seems, that are willing to give up to end everything over
petty issues.
Which
even if sad.
Even if it's not petty, there's nothing that's as durable as before,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not necessarily before, but as my grandparents or our grandparents,
But there's still people who are willing to choose each other. I pray that all my siblings, that we all get married and and you marry and you treat your wives with so much love and you choose your wives always, and my husband chooses me always. I pray that we will one day sit down and say, you know what, we were raised with so much love, and that same love we have experienced with our partners, and we're giving that love to our children. I pray that we get to choose, really, not just choose by words, but from heart. And you get to be chosen. Because there's nothing as beautiful as having a partner you can choose fully, and they choose you. Because I think once someone decides that I choose this person, nothing can ever break that. Nothing. Anyway, you guys, let us know in the comments section, what do you think about compromises and values? What do you understand by that? And do you think they go hand in hand? and also add a thing or two in the comment section. And if you have another topic that you would like for us to talk about before my handsome brother goes away, let us know in the comments section. Mr. Tony, do you have something to add?
Yeah, definitely let us know. We're looking forward to the conversation continuing in the comments.
Yes.
And hearing other minds dig into this topic, a very interesting topic. So it was good seeing you again, and we'll see you again
on the next one. But before we go, you always have to have values, you always have to have boundaries in life. And again, I'm going to leave you guys punto. And before I go, I'm going to leave you guys with a Bible verse, like always. And I will see you guys, or we will see you guys on the next one. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.